Hey guys, how's it going? How is your... I literally forgot what day it was. It's Monday. I've not been drinking enough water today and I can so feel it. I need to go for a run in like an hour and I'm feeling it. It's okay, it's all good. This is plain water. Chlorophyll goes after that. I alternate my bottles. I'm doing chlorophyll in this, chlorophyll in this. Just letting you know. Anyway, so happy Monday, guys. I'm still just kind of flying high off of two things this weekend. Number one is, I think I mentioned, I ran my first 5K on Saturday, so I'm still very excited about that. The very thought that I did a 5K, like it's so part of what I'm talking about now that it's kind of become a natural progression. But to think back, if you guys would have asked me, and I'm sure if you search my blog posts that I said in the past, I'll never run, the only way I'm gonna run is if Hugh Jackman is chasing me, whatever. But here I am running, I'm enjoying it, I've learned so much, and I'm running a 5K like, well, of course I'm gonna run a 5K. And then I get up and it's raining and pouring and chilly and I'm like, well, of course, yeah, there was a part of me that wanted to stay in bed. But then I was like, yeah, I'm running a 5K and it felt so great. It was just, it was awesome to do it and to know that I want to keep doing it. Like, you know, there was a part of me that was thinking, oh, am I gonna get so discouraged and not like it and not want to do it? But no, let me tell you, I'm in it and I'm in it to win it. And meaning, I'm in it to win it, to compete against myself. Not necessarily competing against other people. That's not what this is about. I did sign up. Are you guys joining? I think Misfit, Bookie Boo, a bunch of people are all going to be at the, sorry, this top's kind of weird today. We're running the half marathon in Vegas. I almost said September. December 5th, so I hope you guys are going to be there. I'm speaking at a conference in San Francisco before that, so I'm going to be in San Francisco and then I'm heading over to Vegas to run. What can I say? And then I'm going to stay for an extra day and enjoy myself. But so much is going on. And then after that, you guys, yesterday, I finally finished. Meaning finished. It's done, it's going, it's gone, my book. That was such a huge thing, you guys. I just can't, it's been such a long journey and it's gone through so many transitions from me first starting to write a book with two other authors to changing to doing it myself and then kind of doubting myself and really putting it on the shelf for probably 9 months. And I would talk about it and go, yeah, I'm working on my book, but I wasn't working on my book. And then it really started after South by Southwest, end of April, or maybe it was the beginning of April. That's when I really started working on it again, realizing how much of it I did not have completed, and then things I needed to add to it, right? So Foursquare wasn't around, was not as, well, I don't want to say ubiquitous, it's definitely not ubiquitous, but Foursquare was, and the whole check-in, you know, that had just become on people's radars, really, actually, in South by Southwest. So anyway, I'm rambling, but it was so exciting and a relief, a huge relief, because everything I've been doing, you guys, the past 3 to 6 months has been, well, I'd say specifically, so like, April, really then May, June, July, and August. The past 4 months, really specifically. I'm doing everything I'm doing, right? So blogging, and then everything I'm doing for work, all of the insane travel, speaking, attending events, you know, traveling here and there, everything. And then on top of that, every free second I have, trying to focus on on airplanes, when I get home, updating my book, so I had to go back to the chapters that I'd started, I had to update statistics, I had to add new chapters, I had to take some chapters out, I had to get all of my updated information from a lot of the people that I interviewed for the book because they had moved companies or been hired or went independent, so I had to update everything. Anyway, all that to say is I'm so excited. It is done. I told my publicist, I'm like, by the way, you know, it is done. And I told her she'd have it today. And then when I actually, because every time I've said that she was gonna have it, she's like, I'd be like, well, you know, I almost have it, but I just have to fix this, and then I have to get one more guy who's gonna give me his stuff back or whatever. And so I finally was able to tell her that today. And I sent it to my family. So I sent it to my mom, my dad, and my sister. And my dad is so funny because he was reading it today. And sometimes he says things that he doesn't realize how they come out. Like he'll look at my mom and he'll go, wow, Kathy, this casserole is good. It's not your best, but it's good. So what he said about my book, he's like, Kelly, this is excellent, excellent. You know, I have a few pointers, and he's like, I'm gonna tell you, Kelly, I probably would buy this if I was in the bookstore right now. And he didn't mean it the way it came out. He was basically saying that if he was still, you know, he's retired, that if he was in business and not, you know, not being as familiar in as many of these spaces, that he would be at a bookstore, in an airport, in between flights, and that he would look at it if the subtitle was phrased correctly, and that he would buy it. But it's just the way it came out, where he's like, I probably would buy this. Anyway, I digress. It's been a busy day. I am getting ready to go for my run, not in this top. This is just like a non-workout top, but I have a stomach ache right now, which I'll get to that in a minute. I'm really getting to the point, guys, where I might have to go vegan with my diet, because ever since having salmonella, I'm telling you, like down here, this stomach, it's like World War VII if I don't give it what it wants. It's just like, so I digress again. But I have to really, Amy and I were talking about it, she really wants to kind of give up sugar, and so do I. When I say give up sugar, I mean for the most part, you know, you stay away from sugar. I'm certainly never going to say I'm never touching sugar again. I'm sure I'm going to have a piece of dessert here and there, but for the most part, you know, giving it up. Sorry about the hair, guys, but it is growing. Are you seeing? We're getting really long. We're getting there. So that said, exciting weekend, huge relief. I mean, it's like a surreal feeling to be finished with this book. And then I realized too that as I finish it, I basically have to say towards the end of the book, like, part 2 is coming, like the second book is coming, because there's so many, I had to see how much time, so many people that I interviewed or that I wasn't able to interview, that it just makes sense to do that in book number 2. So stay tuned. A lot of you guys are asking what the book is going to be about. In general, you know, I've probably mentioned this before, social media for business. To put it quite simply, my book is not a how-to. It's not Twitter 101. It's not YouTube 101. Because I don't believe there's any one way to show how to do that. Everybody just has a point of view and a certain level of expertise and experience. It's more of a why-to, because whether I'm dealing with clients at the agency I work for, whether I'm dealing with companies that I work with individually, small businesses, some of the brands I work with, personal brands, if you will, some fitness celebrities, you know, the number one question I'm getting when they don't have a familiarity, sorry, in these spaces is, you know, I don't get it. You know, I don't get Twitter. I don't understand what's the big deal about bloggers. Why should I engage? You know, they kind of don't see it. There's like a mystique level surrounding it, and they don't want to do all the research to understand why it's important. What does it mean for me as a business individual? What does it mean for me if I'm a blogger? You know, how can I, if I have a passion for a certain product or service or what have you, you know, how can I make my passion into something that can actually, you know, pay me some income and maybe help my family? I mean, all of that kind of, all of those scenarios are covered, and kind of just taking away the mystique that's surrounding what social media can mean. It's not just a bunch of widgets and games that people play on their iPhones. It's real connections and real business. And certainly I'm using my personal example of, you know, how it's changed my life. So you'll see that woven in, and you'll see some of the top people in the spaces that are thought leaders in the spaces, some of the biggest brands in the spaces that I've connected to, you know, very naturally by my engagement in social media, because obviously I like to talk, and I talk everywhere. So that said, I'm going to shut up now, but you'll hear more about the book, and I'm so flattered that so many of you guys have been like, oh, just let me know, I want to sign up, let me know when it's released. Trust me. Do you think this girl's going to stop talking about it? I will let you know too, I got a case of this to try. I'm going to look to see if this is good for right after running. I'm guessing that it will, and I will review these for you guys later. Some good books that I wanted to recommend to you guys, because I only have like a minute. Remember I talked to you guys about her, Dara Torres, and she was at the More Reinvention Convention, and, you know, abs from hell, meaning great. And I just read her other book, which was amazing. I think it's called, gosh, it's her first book, not this one. Age is Just a Number. Excellent book if you want to be motivated. Oh my gosh. This is an athlete. This is somebody that just blows your mind. This book is all about dynamic stretching, which I'm realizing now as a runner, and that I can say, you know, I'm an athlete, that I'm training, right? Stretching and working on your core is so important, which is why I'm checking this book out. I just ordered the video on dynamic stretching, so you're gonna hear me talk about more of this later. I've got 30 seconds. I had lunch with Sean locally here last week, and he recommended all of these books, these core performance books. You guys, let me tell you, I got them from the library first so I could check them out, because I'm a good budget girl. check them out. I might even do a second vlog here. I think I will. I'm gonna do just 2 vlogs today. I hope you guys aren't mad. Hold on.